What's going on? It's your dog Artman the Great, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Look, Frank Martin is fucking working his ass off right now, but is he working a little too hard, too early? Folks are looking at it like, man, I see this guy's in shape, and he's doing all the posting the pictures of him, going crazy and in the gym, but we're looking at the projected date, and they're saying things like June. So he could be working out too early, might overtrain is what folks is believing. Yo, what's going on, my dude? Mr. Shelton, LDBC or nothing. You say, yo, Art man, look, I'm just out here, my family in the fucking store shopping. So I'm like, fucking let me just go live. It's a nice day out here in Minnesota. So yeah, I'm just want to chop it up about this boxing real quick. So, I'm looking at Frank Martin and I'm like, man, this guy is in shape. This guy, I think he's taking this fight super seriously. I don't think he's one of those guys that's waiting, going in there for a check. I don't think he's that type of dude. I think he's going in there to actually fight and win because it will be life changing if he goes in there and knocks out Javante Davis. And I'm not saying that it would happen, but I'm saying it would be life changing for himself if he did something like that. He does have the power to hurt the dude, but does he have the power to stop him? It's different. I see that he's taking this fight super seriously. Super seriously. My dude, Nick DR, he said, Martin going there to win. And I feel the same way. I honestly feel the same way. I think dude really trying to win this fight. I don't think it's no bullshit like, oh, this guy's just playing around. I don't think so at all. This actually isn't. And look, I understand there's some channels, this pro Haney channels or whatever, and they saying things like, oh, don't let them fool y'all. This not really the number one fight, which is true. It's not the number one fight, but it's a good fight. Styles make fights, dude. Sometimes it be like that where a guy that's you don't perceive as, the best or top tier, and he goes in there and he gives the fucking champion a run for his money. There's times like that happens in boxing, and I feel like a lot of people are kind of new to boxing, or some folks are just old and they remember and I mean they forget uh, um, that stuff like that do happen where guys in the past where they're not well known and they go in there, they hurt the champion or even beat the champion. Shit like that happens in the game. I'm not saying that Frank is gonna go in there and knock him out, but I wouldn't be surprised if he hurt Javante Davis because Javante Davis, I know he has crushing knockout power, one punch KO, what I'm saying, power, but his defense isn't perfect. He's been caught with some shit that we all seen and we're like, oh shit, I don't know what he's doing. But some folks saying, oh, he just take punches to get in the inside to hurt somebody, which is I understand that. But one fight that made me think of is the Gamboa fight in the 11th round. Javante Davis, he was up, but he was like, I don't know, he was kind of like he stepped off the gas a little bit, and I don't know really, I really don't know what it was, but he sat there and let Gamboa get a fucking three-piece off on him. And it looked like Javante was looking in the crowd or something. But I don't know. The dude was able to get a three-piece off on him. And if Gamboa, nah, I'm not even gonna say if Gamboa had power, because Gamboa do got power. Tank got a hell of a chin, but sometimes he does leave himself exposed to get hit. But he always comes back and he ends the deal, knockout. So people kind of forget those things happen in the match. Said, yeah, you said Tank take punches to set up the KO. Yeah, I believe that, but sometimes he do take unnecessary shots, and that can be bad for him depending on who he fighting. Um, I wonder how he's actually going to come out in this fight. Actually, I want to see some training clips because I was watching the training for Hector Garcia, and I seen him doing things like sideways, messing with the medicine ball so he can dig under with the left and come back with the right, or dig under this way with the right and come with the straight left. Like I seen him doing shit like that in the training camp, and he went in there and he approached this Hector Garcia fight completely different from the other fights. He stood there right in the pocket and he leaned on him, and that's where he did that infamous punch. When he did that, I think it was an overhand left, because he's a southpaw, overhand left, and he came down on him, on Hector, and Hector looked like he dropped to the floor. It looked like that motherfucker was gonna fall out. And I seen him training, working on that shit in the gym. So I wonder how he's gonna approach this Frank Martin fight. Like, what is he gonna work on? Is he gonna work on trying to fight on the inside? Is he gonna work on uh fighting from the outside, popping the jab out? Who knows? I want to see it, but I also want to see Derek James' game plan when it comes to beating guys like Gervonta Davis. Damn, Derek James got a tough one, don't he? Derek James got to kind of show motherfucking Ryan how to beat fucking Haney, and then he got to show motherfucking Frank Martin how to beat Tank. Man, like that nigga Derek James got a tough one, man. I ain't gonna lie. At least he getting paid though. At least our brother getting paid. But it's looking crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know if Derek James can teach them niggas how to beat those two guys, because at this point it's looking like Haney versus motherfucking Tank is should be happening next, because we feel like these guys are going to run through their opponents. But who knows? It could be tough for both of them. But so far, I'm seeing Frank Martin work, and he's looking like he can do something. But what I'm thinking realistically is that they're going to go in there, and it may be competitive for the first couple rounds, and then Frank is maybe going to get touched up a little bit between the mid rounds and feel that heat on him and think like, man, probably get on his back foot trying to protect himself, and then eventually get stopped. That's what may happen, and I feel like that's the outcome that a lot of people feel like is going to happen. Like it may be competitive for the first, and then through the mid rounds, he's going to feel himself getting touched up and just get knocked out like everybody else do. So I hope Tank is not out of shape and he's going there and taking it seriously. And that's one thing too. I don't want to hear that Mike Tyson ass excuse. Oh, that nigga was partying with the bitches and he was having sex with all these fine ladies and drinking tequila and all. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. Hopefully he's taking Frank Martin seriously, because if he goes in there and looks, vulnerable, I don't want to hear no excuses, because his same fans don't give nobody else excuse, for anything. So honestly, Martin shouldn't be worried about KO and Tank. So if Tank loses, it'll be you said when Tank loses, it'll be via decision. Are you talking about losing to Frank Martin or just losing to anybody in general? But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I like Frank Martin though. I really do. I really do. And I'm not on some hating shit like, oh, I'm just riding with Frank Martin or anything like that because I dislike Tank. No, it's nothing like that. I still feel like Tank would win the fight. You know, looks like he's projected to win the fight, honestly, because he's the favorite. But Frank Martin does have a certain level of threat. Maybe he is the dark horse in the division. And sometimes Gervonta Davis, he does get a little distracted trying to talk to people in the ring and shit like that. Who knows? Who really knows? Besides, the boxing gods, seeing that shit under the bright lights. Talking about in general. Yeah. Okay. But shit. Anyways, I gotta get up out of here. Shout out to everybody in the chat.